Last night, we had the second recoupling of the season on Love Island. I would say overall, not too many surprises. So let's just kind of go through couple by couple and we'll kind of go through what happened surrounding them this week. The first couple I want to talk about is Isaiah and Cachet. Before really the last day, like really yesterday, maybe a little bit Wednesday night, I didn't even have Cachet and Isaiah on my radar. I thought for sure Cachet was going to be a casualty of the second recoupling, and then one makeout dare, and all of a sudden Cachet and Isaiah were off to the races. They did stumble a little bit right before the recoupling ceremony, which definitely had me nervous watching. But I'm glad to see Cachet move on from Cinco and find somebody else. All the drama after Trina and Cinco started hooking up. Really, I thought Cachet handled it all very well. She was sad, she was hurt, but she moved on, and good for her because I really want to see her find somebody in this season of Love Island, and I'm really hopeful and I'm optimistic about Isaiah and Cachet. All right, next couple. I'm gonna jump over to Jeremy and Amy. Not really for what happened on this week, but what looks like is going to be the fallout of this choice. They were a pretty quiet couple this week, and we didn't really get much from them. We didn't see much from them. A couple little shots, little conversations. Then we see Jeremy have this conversation with Florita on the day of the recoupling, where he expressed that he was just kind of feeling friendship between himself and Amy and wanted to start exploring something with her. And then when we're actually watching the recoupling, you could almost see Jeremy's heart sink when Corey went before him and picked Florita. I would have been a little upset if Jeremy had gone first and chosen Florita. I mean, she can always say no, but that's just kind of how I feel. So I don't know what the fallout of that is, but it looks like that's going to be prominent on our next episode or two. Might as well jump straight into Corey and Florita. Absolutely wonderful to see Corey finally have a connection with somebody on Love Island. He's had nothing all season long. The three new women come in and immediately a spark with Florita, and very excited to see where that goes. Next up, let's jump over to Giovanni and Olivia. They are just very quietly growing, and I really want to see how far this couple can go. Like, I don't know if Olivia would still jump ship or not. Like, I feel like Giovanni is all in on Olivia, but I don't quite feel Olivia is all in on Giovanni. Two new guys coming in, Slade and West. You'd think that I would be able to say Slade without making a mistake, seeing how this is Slade by reality. But anyways, just don't really know if Olivia will turn her head for the new guys coming in. If somebody really catches her attention, is she going to make a switch? I just don't know. I want to see Olivia and Giovanni grow, but that's going to be up to Olivia to see if that happens or not. Next up, let's jump to Cinco and Trina. I'm just not Team Trina. I'm definitely Team Cash. I'm not Team Trina. So I was really hoping that Cinco would end up going for Lei-Yen, but ultimately, she just didn't. From what we saw anyway, she just didn't do enough to even come close to swaying Cinco. I really think that from what we've seen of Cinco, that it would have been possible for Lei-Yen to sway him to choose her, but she really didn't just go all in, and I would have liked to see that from her just to make things really interesting. Have Cinco just move from one love triangle to another love triangle, and see, I want to see Trina go home. I would rather see Cachet and Lei-Yen there over Trina. But anyways, next up we have Josh and Shannon. I'd hate to say this, but I think the best thing that happened to this couple was Josh making out with Amy. They had that rough few days before the first recoupling where it didn't seem like Shannon was going to choose Josh, but ever since then, like, they both have seemed like they have settled down, that they have committed to their relationship. And while I still don't really like the couple, they are absolutely doing way better after the second recoupling than they were after the first. Next up, I think this is our last couple, is Will and Kira. They're going to win this. They're going to win this show. When it comes down to picking one couple at the end, this is going to be the couple that gets picked. Everything else is too much in limbo, hasn't strengthened to the point where they're solid, and Will and Kira are. I don't think either of them is going to stray, and I just want to see them make it all the way to the end. Let's just have one of these couples right from the start be strong and good all the way through the show. So I mentioned previously, but two new guys coming in, Slade and Wes. The presumption is that women will be choosing at the next recoupling, and very interested to see how this week goes. Amy's probably open to picking a new partner. I still think Olivia is, and you just never know. Like, Slade and Wes could come in and really just knock someone's socks off, and we could see some drama in the villa. All right, I'm going to wrap things up there. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back again probably for the next recoupling. So until then, we will see you later.